What's up, Eastside Youth? The sun's out. There it is. I'm going to take a walk here around the neighborhood, but I just wanted to check in with you guys. I know that it's kind of weird. Happy April Fool's Day. Jude pulled a really nasty trick on Titus and I earlier and tried to make us believe that they're doing something new with The Office. So here we are. But I just wanted to this is going to be kind of a regular thing. Doing kind of a weekly check-in, midweek, just kind of at this point is to give you a thing of encouragement. Look both ways before you cross the street, y'all. But also, this is something that I hope to continue doing even after we go back to normal. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk a little bit about today, is this idea of going back to normal. There's been a lot of talk, and I've been listening to a lot of people talk about this virus and this mess and all the stuff that's going on. And hi, Lexi. And one of the things that is continually being brought up is like, when do we start to go back to normal? Or when do we start to get back to things being on track? And there's a lot of talk of like, well, in a month things will start to look normal. People will start to go back to work. Stuff will change. And I'm not too convinced of that. I think people will go back to work. I think stuff will begin to look normal. But I don't know as if we ever go back to the time before all of this. And what I mean by that is it'll be with us. It is going to forever be a part of our story and our experience, and what it was like in March and April and who knows, maybe May of 2020. And I think right now, thinking about that, a lot of folks are like, hey, I don't like that. I want to go back to when I can just go to youth group and I can go to the store and I don't have to wash my hands 40 times a day. And I think we'll get there, but what is happening is going to be a part of the human story for a while. And as I was thinking about that, I was thinking about one of my favorite portions of like Bible history and times in the Bible. And one of those is the time of the captivity. So there's this moment, and we're going through like 1st and 2nd Kings in the morning together right now. And there's some times for the people of Israel where things are a little rough and their kings are not leading well. And one of the warnings that we keep getting is like, hey, y'all are going to be taken into captivity. And eventually that does happen. They do get taken into captivity. But one of my favorite parts of just history in general, but Bible history in particular, is when the people come back, when they leave captivity. And I think for what's going on with us right now is we're, in a sense, stuck in the times when we've been taken captive. We're stuck in the times with this virus, and, we kind of just have to go with it. And I'm not equating, a sickness to an entire people being hauled away. But there's this moment when the people come out of captivity where they, Ezra, as the kind of the spiritual leader of the people, brings the people back into the promised land, and they get ready to reestablish some sense of worship the way it used to be, quotes there. And one of the things we see is they gather all these people in, And then Ezra, I think it's Ezra 6:21, it talks about they're getting ready to worship the Passover. And we're going to talk a little bit about Passover this week in Sunday night youth group and like why they celebrated it. But the people are getting ready to observe this Passover. And we're told that the group of people that is gathered to participate in this are the people of God who have returned from captivity, and those who are outside of that group who have now chosen to become a part of that group. And this is a new change that we have, and it's really cool because they're living in this time after this big event that really was a game changer. And that event, that captivity, is going to be something that is forever a part of Israel's story. But we see this beautiful thing after they come out of it and after they're through it, where they're able to look back, and now there's this whole big new group of people that is brought in and is able to worship as a part of it. And that said, now we transport that into what's going on with us right now. Who knows what we're going to have going on? Who knows whether in a year or 5 years we're going to look back and again, I can't stress, it sucks that folks have died. That's not good. And it sucks that folks are sick. But I think we're going to look back and we're going to see this mess and we're going to go, okay, I get what was going on. I can find some good in it. I can even find how maybe I was stretched to grow as a person or even grow in my faith. So, that said, sometimes it's really hard to see those things in the moment. Sometimes it's really hard to have that hindsight when it's right here. And I know, that was very true for the people of Israel. A lot of them, they were not like, hey, this is great. We love being in captivity. And it was a bad thing. And this virus is a bad thing. But God has this crazy, crazy cool way of taking just situations that are the pits and that are just absolutely awful and just swapping them up and doing some crazy stuff with them to, 1, bring growth, 2, produce blessing, and 3, give the people of God a chance to, 1, expand and welcome in change in a good way. And so I'd encourage you, as you are experiencing some of the changes, it's going to be easy to be like, this is rough. I don't know how I feel about all this. And that's okay. You don't have to have an answer about that, but take that to God, and be willing to see how some of the changes that could come in the next few months to a couple years from now could be good, could be these cool new opportunities and cool new blessings that have changed how we think of how we do things as a society, but even just as a church. It's for sure going to change how we think of being connected, and I think that's really cool. But I just wanted to say hello, midweek check-in. Hope you guys are all well. As always, just stay healthy, stay hopeful. I love you guys, and I'll see you again soon.